Hi all, Fierce Tiger here. Uh, Today's video is about working with the BSP Viewer to find coordinates and to find the height of the sky in a Half-Life game. It's a video game or video games produced by Valve Incorporated. So mainly for uh, people that want to work on a modification for Day of Defeat game. Uh, in particular, there's a AmxModx plugin called Paratrooper, and you need to find coordinates and height sky. So that is what's going to be helpful. This is quick. Uh, this is what I do to find it quickly, because there's other ways to do this. You can do it in game, but um, in game you got to walk around, and the speed of your walking is fairly slow unless you increase it. The other thing is you could walk around a map and not know what the height of the sky is at that particular point. So using BSP Viewer, you can actually see where and know where the height of the sky is. Excuse me. Okay. First off, let's see. I have all my tools on a flash drive. Most of the tools that are available for um, modifying maps or working with models or Half-Life games will run out without installing. So I'm going to click on BSP Viewer and execute the BSP Viewer program. Out the directory. Transition there. Okay, and we'll call up a map or open up a map. Anzio, let's say. So what we have here, what are we looking at here? Okay, first thing, you'll start at a certain location, and to figure out where you're at, you need to use your mouse, right click and hold it. And then you can move. Okay, I'm panning up, panning down, panning to the right. Okay, spinning all the way around. Okay, looking down, looking up again. All right. So, and I'm holding the right mouse button down all this time. This allows you to look around in 360 degrees in the Y and X axis. Okay. And for moving about in the map, you need to use your WASD keys, which is just like in any first-person shooter game. Well, most first-person shooter games, um, it you use those keys. You can also use your directional keys too if you're left-handed, I guess. Okay, but I'm right-handed, so this is what I use. Oops. Okay, so use W to go forward and S to go back, of course. And if I need to turn around, um, same thing. And A goes to the left and D goes to the right. Okay, so if I want to go up, I have to aim the mouse or the point the mouse in the up direction, and then I hit the W key to go forward. And as you can see, there's a building there. Above the building, it's all white. Okay, so that is what they call the sky. You cannot select it uh, in BSP Viewer. There are things that you can select, like this white block here, because it's an entity. It does something in the game. So if I left click on it with my mouse pointer, you'll notice on the left hand side some values come up for it. And in this case, if you look at the very bottom, it says class name, BLD capture area. So this determines what the capture area is for this particular spot. So there must be a flag somewhere in this. Well, it says target plaza flag. So, and as you can see, it goes all the way down to the ground. Okay, so if you're laying down on the ground, you will capture it. Okay, Danzio. So I suppose you could use this to determine what are the limits of a capture area. But anyway, I digress. So, and one of the reasons I like using BSP Viewer is because, as you can see, I'm traveling at a certain speed, probably a little faster than walking speed in game. But if I hold down the shift key, okay, what I want to do is hold down the right. Well, you don't have to. Okay, I'm going to line up here down this alleyway. If you hold down the shift key and go forward or backwards or any direction, using the directional keys, you will go probably 3 or 4 times faster. So the problem with that is you can easily end up inside a building, which will probably confuse where you're at. Okay, so what I like to do is use the mouse, and because I can change the angle of where I'm pointing. Okay, I can use my cursor to point where I want to go. So what I do is right click and hold, hit the shift key, and then whatever direction I want to do, I use the directional keys to go in that direction. So that's one way, and use the mouse to guide me where I want to go. So I'm going to go really quick down this alleyway. Okay. And as you can see, sometimes it's very easy to not stop on a dime. So the best thing to do to move around quickly is to do short bursts to see where you're at and then continue on. Okay. So one of the things you want to look, and remember I talked about, is you can see that this capture area is highlighted with orange lines or red lines. I can unselect it by just clicking on an area that's not selectable. Okay. Although it is selecting the wall right now. Okay. That's it's not something I can. Okay. You're not going to change anything. You can't delete anything using the viewer. It's a viewer only. So you're not going to. So if you click on things and you hit delete, nothing's going to happen. So you don't have to worry about that. That's the other thing about using the viewer. Okay. So one of the things we want to see is the sky continuous everywhere? And as you can see right here, okay, right here, there's like a lip, almost. You can see there's a lip. There's even over here on the right hand side, it goes down even lower. So what you want to do is find the lowest sky that you are going to use. Okay, for instance, here's this area is the Axis spawn area. So this is probably, if you're going to do the Paratrooper, this is one of the spots that you're going to want to use at least. And so this will probably be the lowest sky you want to use. Okay, even though there are higher portions elsewhere. Because it only uses one value for the sky for all the coordinates. So what I do is I point cursor down, straight down, and then back up using the S key, okay, until it completely turns white. Now I know that I just passed the plane of the sky, okay. And if I go forward now, okay, I just went forward 25 units. Looking up over on the upper right-hand corner is all the red text. You'll see it says FPS, world polys, entity polys, and position. Position means coordinates of where you are in the map. Right now, I'm not going to look at the decimals. I'm only going to call out the whole numbers. 1740, 2807, and 75. I was at 100, and I just went down, okay, using the W key, and went down 25 units. So I'm going to give it one click real quick. Okay, I went from 75 now to 44. Okay, and I just passed the sky. What does that tell me? How high is the sky? The sky must be somewhere around 50. So I'm going to back it up again. Okay, 66, or maybe it's a little higher. Okay, so it's somewhere between 69 and 75. Okay, there's 99, there's 71. Oh, maybe it is at 75. There's 74. So it's between 70 and 75. Okay. What I like to do is drop it down another 100. Now, if we go all the way down to the ground, you can see how low the ground is. And we'll wait till we, okay, let's do it the reverse way now. We're going to back up into the ground. And now we're underneath the ground. See that spot right there? The left-hand side? The ground is really hard compared to the sky. The sky, you can tell right away whether you cross the threshold. So here, I'm pretty close being good. Okay, now I'm below again. Okay. Okay. That line, that dark line there, that's the curve of the terrain. There's a little curve there, so we know that's close to where the ground level is. If you, unfortunately, you can't. You have to go back and forth. So this is pretty close to ground level, minus 500. So that's a pretty good drop of 500, more or less 400 units for a paratrooper. So the only thing is, you're not going to be able to paratroop, but you could paratroop over here, but you see, oh, okay, you'll notice that the sky is lower over here. So the drop for a paratrooper up here on this hill is going to be a lot lower. It won't seem like they're going to fall very long. Okay, but there's also a flag here, so you're not going to want to paratroop onto a flag. Well, maybe you might, but this is probably a better area. Probably drop people in the water, um, and things like that. You can drop them on top of rooftops sometimes, as long as it's not blocked with any of the white portions that you see. Okay, so let's go back here to the spawn area. And we're going to go, okay, so let's say we want to drop somebody somewhere around here. Okay, and looking at the red position numbers, say 1659 and 2768. You don't worry about the last number, because we already determined what the sky is. And what you want to do also is, okay, open up like your notepad. Pad. Um, I don't know if you can see it, but so you first thing you type in is sky, and then a number. We determined that sky is around 70, 75 or so. So I usually drop it at least 100. It's kind of hit or miss. Sometimes it's kind of touchy. So I would drop it down. If it's 75, then I'd drop it down to either minus 50, let's say. That's over 100 down. Okay. So now people are going to drop 450 units, right? Because remember, floor here is around negative 500. Okay. Um, so let's go back to here. What I like to do is I like to put the coordinates or the position at at to the nearest 100 usually, or tens. So if I go left or right, you'll notice that the second number, 2777, 2793, and so that's right there is 2005. Okay, that's pretty close. What I'll do is I'll then turn 90 degrees and then move side to side for the first number. Okay, so let's say we want to make it 1700. There's pretty close to 7. Yeah, just get as close as you can. It's not going to be a big deal. So that's 1703 and 2000. What was it? 2805. Okay, sorry. It's hard to see. Okay, so I would put in 1700, tab over, and then 2800, and then tab over, and just put a 0 for the last one. Because the Paratrooper mod will ignore the actual coordinate you put in for the z-axis, and use the sky number for the z-axis instead. Okay, and that's pretty much what I do to determine what the sky level is. And the thing to remember is that the sky level uh, isn't the same everywhere on the map. Okay, you have to look around and see what the lowest value you're going to find that that will work for the areas that you want to drop people in. Like if you wanted to drop somebody here, right next to this, it says or it's around 100. Okay, over there it was only 75. So if I go down here, it's what is it? It's around negative 19. So so this is much lower than the other side. This is where the allies spawn. So it may not be so that negative 50 may not, if you start spawning allies here using the same sky number as the axis, it may not work. So here it's negative 17 or negative 20 or so. So you're going to want to use this number and drop it even lower to maybe negative 150 for the sky. Because if you're going to use this area for the spawn for the allies, um, then you, well, then well, the Paratrooper plugin only works for one team. Okay, I set it up so that I run two plugins, and both of them are designated, one for the Axis and one for the Allies. So if you only use this for the allies and they're only going to spawn on this side, yeah, you could use a different number, because you're creating two different files. But uh, but if you plan on dropping allies somewhere else on the map, you may have to go even lower for a sky. All right, and that is a quick rundown on how I find positions on the map and how I find sky level. Okay. Here's Tiger. Catch you later. Be good.